Hey, what's up, people? It's Intanger. I'm back on PlayStation. My PlayStation save again. So I have been playing on PC. I mean, I have been playing on PC since February. I pretty much neglected this base. I kept refreshing it, or tried to keep refreshing it for a while. But I missed a couple of refreshes, and a whole bunch of stuff already started decaying. That's when I realized more recently here. So I kept trying to keep it going until the save, hoping I'd be able to take the save from PlayStation, put it on PC and play it, and have all my animals from PS4 on PC. But apparently that's not going to happen because the saves aren't even available, and they say they won't work anyway. I don't know if they will work or not, but they won't even let me try, so I can't find out. So I went and looked through my old videos and see if I made a video kind of touring this build. I mean, it's similar to several of my other builds, as you can see if you've watched my other tour videos. It's the same basic structure, except for it's partly decayed. The whole upper floor up there is already decayed because it was all sitting up on top of wood, so it's all gone. All the wood structures decayed on me, and I don't want to rebuild them because it's dead. I mean, the PlayStation's dead. It's totally dead at this point. There's not even anybody else on this server. And all my other holdings around the whole map have all decayed. I had some really cool stuff, but it was mostly smaller, and I didn't refresh it enough, and it's gone. This is the only thing I got left, and it's got some cool, unique features that I just kind of wanted to put on video, put up on YouTube. It's the main thing I like to do with my channel is just kind of like archive some of my cool builds and adventures so I can have something to remember them by. And since this is all I'm going to have left of PS4, I guess I'm going to make a video of what's left. I mean, it's mostly still here, except for the roof. But yeah, this was a unique build because of, get out of the way. I mean, just look at this. I built it up on top of the tallest mountain in the whole world. Yeah, I kind of lost the hang of the controls on PS4 here. I've been so used to the PC lately. I love the extra control that you seem to have on PC. It's great with full mouse aim and all the more configurable keys and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, check out this view. It's pretty killer. It looks really cool being this close to the warp speed animations and whatnot too. But yeah, this was my main base on PS4 here at the end, and it was pretty neat. It was pretty well done. Oh, a bunch of the glass decayed in there too. I guess it was on top of wood, or maybe it was hanging from wood. Yeah, because I had a vaulted wood ceiling here, and some of the pieces might have been hanging from the wood. Yeah, so I had a little hole where I could access this and dump it into the ingots. Had a robot standing here too, one of the exomechs, but he decayed, of course. But yeah, it's a pretty similar layout to all my other bases, more or less. It's got the storage area here, full storage. It's got even more storage. It's got, yeah, even more storage. These are like specific storages for like armors, flax, and tack. And then I got boss saddles, regular saddles. I got weapons and tools and that sort of thing. And it's a pretty good layout. It works great for me. I've got used to it so much that I just build the same layout every time, so I always know where everything's supposed to go. It helps me stay real organized. Sometimes, well, usually, yeah, I'll have a ladder. We'll have a spiral staircase up to the upper floor here, but it decayed. And then this is my master bedroom. On some of the versions, I have another stairway down on this side, but since this one's small enough, I didn't bother with the second stairway down, and I just have the master here. And this used to be a whole upper floor of wood, like painted wood. It looked nice. On some versions, I'll have a ramp down into the dino hangar, and on other versions, I don't have a dino hangar, so I just have a bunch of cryo storage here. I'll show you that on my Gen 1 map a little later, I guess. But yeah, this version has the dino hangar, so it had these ramps that go all the way down. I got all the cryo storage around the bottom here. So plenty of cryo storage. It seemed like more than enough for PlayStation. And then I've got my incubation room over here. I used to, incubate the eggs right on the ground, so this was the hot plate. And these days you just use incubators, so I still hatch them here. Extra fridges. These are like nursery dinos, extra eggs, all that sort of stuff. So that's the quick and dirty of the tour. Of mostly, most of the stuff's still here, but yeah, the main thing that I really loved about this build, more than the same old sort of structure that I've always built over and over, is just the location. It has such an epic view up here. You can see the whole green side of the world, and just the cool foundations. I mean, this is a legit build. It's not using any glitches to float the build. These are legit foundations that count. They follow all the rules of how foundations are supposed to work. They just do it in a very unusual way that most people don't even know. And I'll go ahead and tell you, this has been in the game since all along, and I've hinted at this. I think I might have shown a glimpse of it now and then, but I didn't really advertise it too much because I didn't want everybody else copying me and building it in spots that I wanted to build it. But yeah, you can build pretty much anywhere you want you can build in really uneven terrains with this. But basically these fence foundations, they snap to each other. So they count as connected, even though they don't have to be at the same height. They follow the terrain, so they go down to the terrain, but they still count as being snapped to this. So it basically lets you stretch your foundation out across the ground, and they're all still connected. So when I put this pillar here, it still counts as being connected through all these fence foundations to the structure above. So it counts as supporting it. So all the supports to hold all the width of this thing up, they're all spanned out across the ground here, connected by fence foundations, and then the pillars count as tying it into the ground, foundationing it into the ground. And occasionally it'll be too steep. Like there are limits to how far away these fence foundations can be and still count as being connected. Those aren't outside the limits, even though they're quite a drop. It's like a good, I don't know, 8-foot drop or plus more. It still counts as connected on those, but sometimes it's too far and it won't count as connected. And I'll show you what you can do in those situations. There's a workaround that still counts as connected, still looks pretty minimalistic, and still lets you be very flexible. It's these things right here using the fence supports. So these will snap to a fence foundation and be in midair, and then they can snap to each other, so you can drop height, and then you can snap a fence foundation to those again. And so they're all still connected, and you can adjust your height to be close enough to still count these. Another thing you can do, and I'm also doing it here, is that you can have more than one angle. So, oops, let me go back up there. I could have sworn I made a video like this before because I thought I explained this before, but I couldn't find it, and I didn't see it on my channel. I didn't see it on my video save, so I don't know what happened to it. But see, I'm dropping a little bit of height by snapping one at that 45-degree angle, then a 90 angle. So that 90-degree angle one is a lot lower. So then I can snap another one at 90, and it's even lower, and they're all connected to each other one at a time. But if I had just gone from that one right there all the way up there and just gone straight angled to this one down there, it would have been too far. But since I have these other ones in between, they fill the gap. They still count as connected. Yeah, so it's kind of extreme on some of the really steep heights. I mean, I kind of went to some lengths there to get it to work, but it's still pretty minimalistic looking. I mean, it's still a smaller structure count than doing a crap load of pillars and ceilings. And the ceilings are, big. They're pretty big. They catch the eye. They look really stupid. You got all these weird offset ceilings all over the place. It looks really dumb. I don't like the look of it at all. But this is a lot more minimalistic. And since a lot of those fence foundations are half covered by the mountain, you don't even hardly see them. It looks like a lot less of an eyesore. Still follows all the rules, has a really low structure count, and takes care of all your foundational needs. And then from there, I did some even more crazy stuff. So then I pillar up. I could have just gone with one single pillar stack, and I used to have just one pillar stack. There's actually still one pillar stack inside there, but somebody told me that void worms could be lured into the green zone and damage my structures. So just in case, since it was one very weak point of failure, if they got any one of those pillars, I went and encased it in a bunch of more structures so that it would be protected just in case somebody got clever and tried to kite me. And then from there, I did this thing where I got a snap of some 45-degree angle ceilings so that I could branch out these um, catwalks and on 45-degree angles to the edges over here, because those have to support my behemoth gates for my dyno hanger. So these 45-degree angle behemoth gates are supported from under the floor by these ceilings here that are held up by these catwalks that are also supported by this 45-degree angle snap ceiling that is supported by that central pillar. So basically all of this entire structure, even the off-angle stuff, is all supported from one central column that then branches out to this massive foundation that just, runs down the side of this super steep mountain. So yeah, that's really the most technically unique part of this build, is this really elaborate, and really nobody else uses this foundation system like this. But I took a lot of pride in figuring it out and implementing it and doing it on the most extreme location that I could have ever utilized it on, which is just this crazy steep mountain, the tallest mountain on this green zone, and it just has an epic view all around, and it was a great location. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice server back in the day too. I mean, it was a pretty great community, lots of interesting characters, lots of friendly people. Had a lot of fun here, and yeah, I don't regret all the time I played on Ark, even though they're shutting it down now. It's coming to an end. As the saying goes, all good things do come to an end, and that doesn't mean that the journey wasn't worth it. I had a lot of fun, met a lot of cool people. Even though I'm not really going to stay in touch with pretty much any of them, I still had a lot of great experiences with them, and I think it was all worth it. And so yeah, I don't regret it, and it was going to have to come to an end sooner or later. Oops, I think we're on the save. Yeah. So even though a lot of people are bitter that Ark is more or less coming to an end now, they're basically shutting it down with no replacement, which is stupid. Um, Sooner or later it was going to happen. And I've played this game way longer than I really had any business playing it, because I've pretty much done everything like 15 times now, like literally. I've got 15 different characters, and almost all of them are they're all over 150. They're all 150 to 205. So I definitely a bit alcoholic here, but I had a lot of fun, man. It was a really cool time. I've got a lot of cool builds. I still have a lot of cool designs. I'm still going to try them on Ark Ascended if it ever comes out, when it comes out, if it's going to be playable. We don't know. There's still so many unknowns on it. Hopefully it'll be great. But I'm going to try some of these same designs out and, go around again and have a good time again, hopefully. But until then, I wanted to make a video showing off this build. Oh, one other cool kind of neat little technical thing is that I've got one of these tech behemoth doors, but you don't see a tech behemoth gateway because this is it's like a floated door. There was a gateway there, but I had built it in such a way where I could destroy it and leave the door. There's tutorials on how to do that. The catch was I needed to do it and keep the snap point for the regular stone behemoth gateway, which I wanted to stay there. And so I had to kind of get creative about how I was going to support one and drop support for the other without them being connected, so that I could follow the rules of dropping it. It was a little tricky, but I got it to work, and it was a minor little thing, but it looks cool, and it really makes some people scratch their heads when they're like, well, where's your gateway? How is that in a stone gateway? That doesn't make sense. But yeah, get a kick out of it. But yeah, other than that, I was really hoping I could save all my animals too. I got all these different animals, that most of which, a lot of them I tamed and mutated myself, actually. The Rexes I tamed and mutated myself for 18 generations. The Shadowmanes, I did a lot of taming not taming, I did a lot of merging and mutating on those, and have a bunch of really cool colors that I really wanted to bring onto the PC and have a backup of. I opened this up to one of my friends, and he took a lot of the cool colors, unfortunately. But actually, this was one of my favorite combos right here. We have a whole bunch of really cool color combos over here that I wanted to be able to merge in with my PC backups, but they're not going to let me, unfortunately. They're not even going to let me try. They say it doesn't work, and they won't let me try. They won't give you the save, so wildcard's kind of annoying. And even Nitrado, I bought a Nitrado server just so I could go ahead and see if I could back up the files locally from the PlayStation. That, you know, it'll let you import the PlayStation data to Nitrado, and then normally you can back up your files in FTP and file browse and all that sort of stuff and grab them for backups. But they don't let you do it for the PlayStation servers. It's like they've gone far out of their way to make sure you can't get those files. So I can't even try to see if it'll work. They just tell me it won't and that you can't. But did they know that, or are they just saying that because you can't put it onto a PlayStation console? Because you can't put the data onto a PlayStation console because PlayStation home directories are encrypted. And if you don't have the right encryption keys, you can't put any new files in there. But there's also workarounds for that. People have old, I don't know, they're not really rooted, but cracked or whatever it is, unlocked. I don't know what you call them, but they've gotten access to the console with FTP servers and stuff like that. So you can actually get around the encryption on older ones if you haven't already updated them. So I mean, there's ways to potentially get the save onto a PlayStation 4, but they won't even let us download them. They won't let us have access to the files to see. So it's just going out of their way to stop us. It's really irritating. I don't know why they just, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Just, for those of us who want to do it and try it anyway, just fucking let us. What difference does it make? But they won't. Oh well. So anyway, this is pretty much the end of PlayStation Arc 1 for me. I still have this the space towering above the world here on an abandoned server. That is that's the end of it. Oh well. I'm still trying to merge all my favorite builds onto a Gen 1 server on PC. I found this cool add-on called Structure Saver, which lets you save and restore structures, and it's really cool. I managed to move some of my UFO builds, which are relatively small and simple, but I'm not getting it to work on some of my more complex builds. I'm not really sure why it crashes. Plus, it takes like 15 minutes to load the world saves on my server, which is crazy. Anyway, but yeah, I'll probably make another video or two just kind of highlighting some of my other favorite builds that I built on PC one last time for posterity here. And then I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I'm going to have to find some other games to play because, I'm into these online sandbox multiplayer builder survival games. There's not a whole lot of them. This was my favorite and arguably the best one ever made, and they've just fucking ruined it for no good reason. Well, before it's time to. I don't know why they've done it this way. It's so stupid. But yeah, I'm trying not to be bitter. I still had a lot of fun with it, and what can you do? All right, y'all, have a good one. I'll see you next time. Hopefully, y'all are doing well out there in YouTube land or wherever you live. See ya. Hey guys, it's Intanger again already. I just thought of something else. I was going through my base and I was unlocking all the all the storage and stuff, thinking, somebody maybe will use it, but who's ever gonna use it? I don't think anyone's ever gonna even find it in time. So I got another idea, and it's explode the sucker. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god! It just get crashed. Outgoing. Oh man, what a bummer. That would have been a lot cooler to watch. Come on, fly, please. Oh wow. Well, it blew up. I didn't get to watch it. That's a bummer. But there it is. There's like 5 years of work. How come this one gate stayed up? Is it really here? Wow, weird. Well, that's what's left. You know, I kind of want to watch that explosion. I can't believe it dropped me instead. It's annoying. Oh, all my vaults dropped. Oh well, that's the end of that. So long, Arc. PlayStation 4. Arc 1. That's it. That's it, guys. See you next time. Have a good one.